Que isso? Voltei no load. Vamos dar sequência já. E já começa assim na parte 12. Nossa, faz tanto tempo. Desde a última gameplay. Que eu já tô enferrujado. Ai. Isso eu lembro os combos. Beleza. Já chegamos chegando, hein? Já começa assim. Primeira luta da volta. E nesse meio tempo que a gente ficou sem jogar, teve patch no jogo. Corrigindo alguns bugs de travamento, de delay. Principalmente aqui no menu principal, onde travava às vezes. O que a gente ia ver? Sistema. Sim, porque agora tem a opção de blur. Onde é o blur? Tá aqui, desfoque o movimento. Eu não sou muito chegado a blur em jogos não, então vamos ver como é que fica o jogo sem o blur. Acho que por enquanto tá ok. Tem como a gente perceber logo de cara, né? O que mais que eu ia ver? Sim, a gente vai seguir agora com a missão principal. Se tem alguma novidade. Enquanto não.
Clive, have you come seeking the gift of knowledge?
No. To share mine, actually.
Oh, my.
Look, he's crying. He is. Big baby.
And with good reason, children. These are tears of joy. We must offer up a prayer to your parents that the heavens might weep with us. There shall be no lessons today, only thanksgiving and merrymaking. Go, put away your things.
All right. Brilliant.
Finally, a new dawn has broken.
It has. Hippocrates. After Kuka fell, Ultima came to me. I need to know what he is. Have you learned anything?
Alas, no. And not for want of trying. I have scoured nigh every historical tome in our collection and found nothing. Not even the sort of conspicuous absence that might suggest a concealment of fact. One is almost tempted to conclude that such a creature never existed.
But I saw him with my own eyes.
I don't doubt that you did. Alas, it seems you are the only one who has. To others, he reveals naught. We see only that which he leaves in his wake, like some terrible force of nature beyond the ken of mortal man.
Tu já falou que ele te chama de Mythos?
Whether the Ultima you met with was the being itself, or merely another projection of its power, I know not. But until I do, my investigations shall continue.
Thank you. It means a lot. Right. Let's see if Otto has anything else for me.
I'm telling you, it's true. I heard it from Otto's own lips.
Hugo is dead.
We're seeing troops amassing at every border crossing.
You barely sat down since you came home. Vivian just spreading the word.
So, the professor's got a soft side, has she? I'd never have guessed.
No. She was right, though. Everyone was glad to hear the news.
Ah, but you ain't told everyone. I can think of plenty of friends back at the old hideaway who'd sleep more peacefully for knowing. Not least of all Sid. You should tell him.
You're right. I should. And I will.
Well, when you do, be sure to take Mid with you. She's been going at it hammer and tongs down at that workshop of hers, trying to do her father proud. I can't remember the last time she visited.
Very well. I'll suggest it.
Pegar aqui nossas doações.
Welcome to the Patron's Whisper. Your benefactors are a generous lot. All yours.
Tome.
Best of luck out there, Sid.
I think Mid might need some help.
If I don't come up with something soon.
E aí, Mid? Qual que é a boa?
All right, Clive?
I'm going to visit Sid, and I thought you might like to come with me.
Sorry, I'm too busy for all that right now. I've got to get this thermal displacement stack sorted.
Thermal... And this is for...
Only the fastest, finest ship the world has ever seen.
Enterprise.
The Enterprise. Me and my dad designed it together. Where other vessels rely on the fickle winds to drive them through the water, ours is fitted with mithril engines. And those things have got more push than a behemoth in a bad mood, and more heat than all the hells put together. Which is where the stack comes in. I may have already talked some tight-lipped shipwrights into putting the hull together for me in a little dockyard in Canva. But the stack's a bit more involved, so I'm building it here. Thing is, it's so involved that I'm running behind and it's starting to hold things up over at the shipyard. I'll come and see my dad, though, when I'm done. Whenever that is.
Is there anything I...
Good old Clive. I were hoping you'd say that. First things first, I need some parts meching. The stack will be made up of 3 major components. There's the plating, here, that channels hot vapors away from the engine. The helm over the top, that disperses all that heat into the air. And the shielding around the sides. That stops the rest of the ship from going up in...
A full suit of armor, then? Probably best to take it one piece at a time.
Then you'll need to start with the plating. Everything else fits onto it. I've got the designs and the list of materials. Show these to Blackthorn. He'll know what to do.
I can't make head nor tail of them.
Luckily, you don't need to.
Pois é, imagina se ele soubesse. Já tem que se preocupar com lutar contra icons. Você ainda tem que ser um gênio da matemática.
Editors started reading books
Aí
that
não
don't
dá
have
não.
any pictures in.
Mid hasn't been.
I went up to give some greens to the chocolate.
Blackthorn, can I ask a favor?
Out with it.
It's for Mid.
This my last chance to say I'm otherwise engaged. Go on then. What is it this time?
She said you would know. Here.
Projeto de coluna térmica.
Krieger's teats. Well, I don't know what the hell you'd want this for, but I can make it, and I'll need help. Get Gavin-Otto in here, will you?
All right.
Clive Delivery ao ataque novamente.
So Mid's roped us all in here again, has she? Typical. Still, if that's what it takes to get her to visit Sid's grave, I'll do what I can.
And, what is it we need to do, exactly?
Take a look at this. It's this plating. The usual sword grade steel won't work. We need something that can get very hot. That means an alloy. Something that won't break or buckle at a temp, which is where you lot come in. I need materials, and I've got my work. Now, there's a special kind of sand I'm after that you can only find out in the Velk. As for the rest of the stuff, my usual supply should have it in stock. It just needs buying and bringing back here.
Well, we'll get it done quicker if we split up. One of us should probably give you an hand coat in the sand.
And the other can go and get the rest from...
Right then.
Well, make your minds up who's going where, we can get this over with.
Bora logo pegar essa areia.
You going after the Stardust? Which one of these two?
Nunca tive o alto na party, né? Ou já tive? Acho que vem o Gav mesmo, que o Gav luta. Deixa o voto aí.
You're with me.
All right, then. So, where do we find this
There's a river that runs through the southern reaches of the Velcroy. There's the Black Sea.
southern reaches of the Velcroy, eh?
Almau.
I'll go and scout the place out. See about hiring...
All right.
While you're off having a paddle, I'll pick up the rest of this.
You two, eh? Don't go...
Fleece me.
Tá, vamos logo. Pelo material, vá para o Rio Sul. Ó, mais 2 sidequests aqui. Será que dá pra fazer essa sidequest no caminho?
Take a sniff, good sir. You'll be drunk.
Gone, just like that. And without so much as...
What's the matter?
I'd go and look for him myself, but I've got a bakery to run. A bakery, loath though I am to rely on the kindness of strangers. I'm at a loss.
I'll see what I can do. Do you know where he might have...
I wouldn't be surprised if he was off somewhere mooning at Drake's Fang. He used to work there, you see.
All right.
Não, priorizar você eu não vou priorizar não, meu filho. Vou pegar a areia e depois eu vou atrás de tudo. Que isso?
Made from the stoutest stoneware.
Won't you come and play, handsome?
1,000 gil for a measly bunch of greens.
Por aqui? Ué. Eu tô viajando.
Did the constables test you properly
I'm delusional.
Yes, they're quite
The finest fabrics, fresh from the capital.
Looks like I found the river. Where's Gav?
Pô, eu acho que tá bem melhor sem o blur, né? Eu acho que o único porém de estar sem o blur é que fica mais perceptível a queda de FPS no modo
Sorry to keep
performance.
you, Gav.
Better late than never. I've had a quick scout about, and I reckon round here's our best bet if we want to grab as much of this stored. Don't know what Blackthorn's planning to do with it, though. I asked over in Dallamil, and they seem to think it was worthless. But if Stardust is what Blackthorn wants, Stardust is what he'll get. There's plenty of this stuff lying about, just begging to be bagged.
Then let's get bagging, shall we?
We shall. Race ya.
Uns lagartinhos.
So this is Stardust. It just looks like black sand to me.
Tá. Ah, tá brilhando ali. E tem um ali embaixo. E vai faltar um. Acha pra nós, Torgo. Tá faltando um. No mapa. O mapa diz que tá lá na caixa prego. Tem esse item aqui. Vamos com calma, vamos com calma. Ah, achamos.
That should be enough for now. Let's see how Gav's getting on.
E aí, Gav?
You finished?
Enough.
Oh, that might even be enough for old Blackthorn. Hey,
Ih, que conversão. Qual foi?
feels like ages since we had the chance to talk. You know, man to man like.
It does, doesn't it?
Back when you first took Sid's name, we were talking all the time. Working out what to do in that.
There was a lot to work out.
And there still is. Those shoulders of yours starting to feel the strain. Hardly ever see you around the hideaway nowadays. Always on some errand or other. You can take a day off, you know.
Says the man who spends most of his time behind enemy lines.
Only 'cause you keep sending me there.
I know I can count on you, Gav.
Likewise. So you keep sending me wherever you need to, and I'll keep going. Safe in the knowledge that I have a home to come back to. Thanks to you.
Aperta a mãozinha. Ah. Acabou o papo.
That's enough soppy shite for one day. We'd better get this lot back to Blackthorn before he slings his hammer at some...
You go on ahead.
Oh, I plan to after Blackthorn gets...
Opa.
Right. Ready to go?
E tem que buscar o cara lá que tava perdido. O menino que se perdeu.
Come on. Faster.
Ai, desculpa, Ambrosia. Nossa, imagina quando sair pra PC, rodando 60 frames, Full HD, tudo bonitinho. Aí eu vou querer ver o pessoal reclamando.
Straight home now.
Esses bandos mal amados. Cadê o menino? Procure o assistente. Tá aqui? Ah, tá ali.
Excuse me. What do you want? The baker sent me to find you.
I am a sorry, selfish sod, aren't I? Certainly not a baker. Master must rude. Time was the sight of the fang used to calm my nerves. But now look at her.
I take it you missed the Mother Crystal.
I hated her. But she was all I knew. Worked her mines for years. And when she shattered, part of me shattered with her. I had to trade my pickaxe for a rolling
as
pin.
peças se quebram pra
good
uma
at
nova
baking.
surgir.
Every
Uma nova
loaf I
melhor, uma
touch
uma versão
collapses.
melhor.
My bread's as hollow as I am. She was the only thing that could fill the hole inside me. But now she's gone. She's never coming back. What am I supposed to do? I ask her.
Try to remember the good times. Do that?
Even in the bakery. What a fool I've been. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. You've opened my eyes. I have to get back there right away.
Wait.
Foi bem exagerado, viu?
Suppose you won't be needing an escort then.
Exagerado. Jogada aos seus pés.
The finest
The most fragrant herbs and spices.
Ah, there. Though I worry you might have stoked the flames a little too high. He damn near ran me down.
Master, it's ready. Behold.
I dare say it.
Just look at it. Her steeple peaks. Her fulsome spurs.
Agora entendi porque ele tava apressado.
True, my loaves collapse more often than not, but and look, inside. Master, I have found my purpose.
Well, if it tastes off as unique, not only is my apprentice back, but he's finally put... I don't know how you did it.
Agora entendi. Faz sentido, ele tá tão empolgado. Desbloqueamos uma ideia na mente dele. Foi uma ideia boa, viu? O cara aí é empreendedor. A gente pode voltar pra falar com o Blackthorn. Mas o que é que tem aqui na ala perdida? Em busca de justiça. Vamos lá no Blackthorn primeiro.
Let's hope this is all Blackthorn needs.
Oh, goats. Opa.
Yeah.
Pensei sem querer.
Yeah, I do. Cheers for the Stardust.
We should go out on your beat sneaking around.
I'll make a start on putting it. It will take some time, mind. So if you've got other things to be getting on with.
Thank you, Blackthorn.
Missão concluída. Soltando vapor 1.
Suppose we'd better be getting back.
Give us a shout if you need it.
No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Vamos falar com a Mid. Peraí, me perdi já. Caramba, eu tô muito perdido. Pera, tô me achando. Tá, ela fica aqui, isso aqui é do outro lado, pra descer.
Editors started reading books that don't have any pictures in.
Achei basicamente uma semana sem jogar.
If I don't come up with something soon.
You'll be pleased to hear that Blackthorn's started work on the plating.
Excellent. 1 down, 2 to go.
So, what's next?
The helm, of course. For this, we'll be repurposing fallen scrap.
Salvage from the ruins? I thought that material was all but impossible to work.
Ah, but we don't have to.
I'm sorry.
Just so happens there's one particular ruin that's broken into exactly the right shape and size pieces for what we need. What's the name back there? I'll give you all the details.
What's her name? Right.
Deixa eu falar com a Mitch. Pausinha rápida. Voltando aqui. Sem querer. Eu dei TP. Mas vamos voltar lá pro esconderijo novamente.
I think Mid might need some help.
Oh, Sid, is this about the helm?
Yes. Mid said I should speak with you.
I'll show you the plans then. Here you see the mithril engine, in which mithril is burned to generate heat. That heat is then harnessed to produce motive force. Excess heat is dealt with by means of the thermal displacement stack, which disperses it into the surrounding air. Now, were we to rely on thermal plating alone to achieve this effect, the rate of excess heat buildup would far exceed the displacement coefficient of the plating. In other words, the reactor would overheat and eventually explode. This is where the helm comes in. It connects to the plating, you see, and serves as a sort of thermal sink to absorb all that excess energy. Our experiments have shown that fallen ceramics are remarkably thermophilic. They can withstand and absorb levels of heat far above anything we are able to make today. And not only that, they're also waterproof and immune to rust, making them the perfect material for our protective hood. Why, if sea or rainwater were to enter the reactor proper, it would vaporize instantly. The forces produced would tear the ship from stern to...
You can stop there. I understand. Mid said we might be able to use parts of a... Where would I find it?
Ah, yes. It's in Lorbert's Pass, near Lostwing. The
Por isso que
thing
apareceu uma
is,
sidequest lá também.
I probably should have arranged to have the pieces we need brought here sooner. It's no longer a matter of just walking in and taking them. It's...
I see. Would that help?
Oh, I'll gather my team and head there right away. We'll meet you...
Volto a dizer, eu entendo completamente quem... tipo... detestou essa sidequest. Tinha muito sidequest de MMO. Assim, faz parte da vida se a pessoa não curte esse estilo.
Good day to you.
Sure, but spent. The crystals we get from it.
We had to dig a new cellar.
Ah, Clive. Your timing is...
Go on.
There are whisperings afoot of rustlings in the undergrowth. It may be no more than a surfeit of nerves. Given what I hope you'll forgive me calling your nose for you might be
Beleza,
right.
depois eu vejo isso.
Right. Let's see what the people of the village have to
Deixa eu
say.
ter que falar com o pessoal.
I'd better find out if this is just nerves, or something we need to take more seriously.
You alright, Sid?
There is actually. Quentin tells me people have mentioned shadowy figures out.
Oh, that. No, so I heard the rumours, mind, from the lads.
All right.
You're quite
Tenho que ir pra onde?
talented with that rod of
Acho que é no
yours.
caminho, né? Eu vou ali de... E depois eu vou pra... Eu vou. Que eu já sigo o caminho mesmo.
Word is, the Black Shields took a hiding. Some bearers in the open.
Excuse me. Quentin mentioned...
Nah, not me. I'm here most days, right next to the gate, and I... Don't worry. Any shady...
All right.
É tudo boato, ó. Ninguém viu nada. E tu, moça? Herbalista.
You have a moment? There's talk of suspicious figures.
No, but I've heard something.
Where was that?
In Lawbert's was out foraging for herbs when I heard it. Ran back here as quick as my legs would carry me.
I see.
É no caminho? É no caminho. Nice.
Seems Lawbert's pass is the best bet then. What do you say, Torgal? Shall we go and investigate?
Bora. Vale Norvert.
Good girl.
Fly, Ambrosia.
You there.
Fuck! He's seen us. Get them before they escape.
Ah, são os Black Shields.
Black Shields.
What the hell are you doing here? What is it to you? Not that we give a damn. All that matters to us is that you don't leave here alive.
Até parece. É, só dar uma corridinha, tinha esquecido da minha corridinha. Ei, mano. Inimigos derrotados. Os espólios. Nossa, tem muita guild.
Why were they here? Were they planning an attack on Lost Wing? I need to warn Quentin.
Eu aviso ele depois.
Come on. Run like the wind.
O Quentin pode esperar.
Thanks, girl.
Oh, there you are, Sid. The ruins are just over.
Of course.
Mate a criatura que se instalou nas ruínas. Você vê que não vai ser nada demais? Vai ser um ratinho. Eita.
This must be our run one.
Isso daí é chatinho.
Nice try.
Errei. Eita. Easy. Inimigo derrotado. Ah, 3.000, né? A gente pode upar o Limit Break.
The things I do for you,
Sid!
you shouldn't have any trouble.
Indeed. Well, don't let us keep you.
All right.
Missão concluída. Soltando vapor. Aumenta a duração do tônico robusto em 10 segundos. Usar equipamento. Habilidades, no caso. Aí a gente vem em transcendência. Isso. E parece que se a gente masterizar o bola de um icon, a gente consegue usar ele a qualquer momento, né? Dominado. É isso? Eu não entendi se era isso. Deixa eu ver. Se eu vier aqui e selecionar a garuda. É. Ah, não. As habilidades que eu domino eu consigo usar livremente. Não preciso da garuda, não. quero essa habilidade aqui. Tá. A gente vai falar aqui com o Quitan. Completar a quest e a gente volta pro acampamento.
Good day to you.
Bom dia.
The crystals we get.
Clive, how goes the hunt?
I found some black shields hiding near Lorbert's Pass.
Black shields. The Empress's former, though they serve another master now. One who means, and it would appear the pack has finally caught the damn it all. I had hoped I would have more time than this. And bite back.
I'm sorry. Who did the Black Shield serve now?
Because I want him dead.
Who?
The former Lord Chief Justice of Sanbreque. All that I have built here.
I don't understand. Why him? Why lost?
I suppose I was a member of the judiciary once. So sickened was, and fight it I did in my... I saw more than a few corrupt officials condemned to the very cells into which they had thrown blameless innocents. Men to who... And throughout, it was the Lord Chief Justice who backed me, who was my one true...
So what changed?
I discovered that he hunted... I was a fool to think he shared my hatred of venality and vice. A means of ridding himself of his rivals. A mask to hide the rot beneath. His response, however, was... And he faced no punishment. I lost everything. My loved ones. My livelihood. The faith I had once held that any modicum of justice... So I set about enacting my own. I tracked down every soul who served him. And still the man himself proved an altogether more difficult. With money and power come protection. And so I saw that I would need an army of my... I came here to Lostwing and began recruiting like-minded individuals.
And everyone...
Of course. They too have lost loved ones, seen faultless friends sent to the gallows to spare the guilty. All under the watchful eye. Our wounds are the same. We know where he hides, how numerous and well-trained. What we did not know until now, however, was that his...
Quentin.
Our time is short. He may move against us at any moment. My friends and comrades,
cuidado aí, Quitan. Pra não ter ela perdida toda dizimada. Tá, a gente já consegue dar... Ah, tem uma interpretação aqui. A nau capitania do esconderijo movida por um motor a mítrio. A embarcação foi projetada por uma equipe de pai e filha, Sidolfos e Midado Telamon. Está atualmente em construção em uma enseada escondida nos arredores de Camber. Mid é bem melhor do que Midado, né, velho? Oh, meu Deusito. Que diabo de nome é esse?
We're seeing troops amassing at every border crossing.
Desirre.
How may I help you today, Clive?
Dos
You earned
meteoritos. Medalhão do alto
All in good
clérigo.
time, eh?
O que mais?
I think Mid might need some help tidying up.
If I don't come up with something soon.
Mid. Helena has recovered.
Excellent.
And just...
Right.
How so?
The plating's enough to stop the engines going pop, but those things will still be spitting out enough fire to set the rest of the ship ablaze, which is why you need proper shielding. A prism for the dragon's breath that's blazing. I thought a triple thick layer of tempered steel might do it. Or more of the stuff that the Fallen use, but the helm and the plating are bulky enough as it is. Add any more weight and the whole ship would be at the bottom of the briny before we'd even... I need something light. But I've wrapped my brains and I just...
Well, if I were in need of obscure knowledge, I know whose counsel I would...
Tomes? I've got all the details written down. Can you take this to him?
Right away.
Right away. Vou usar o TP que é mais fácil. Pera aí. Tem que andar isso tudo. Vamos de TP mesmo. Fale com a Pockets.
Hippocrates.
For you, Clive?
Well, actually, it's for Mid. Could you take a look at this?
Projeto de blindagem térmica.
Shielding for a mithril? What are these?
She has some specific requirements for the materials. The shield need to remain cool enough on the outside not to set the ship alight, while also being light enough not to, as you can imagine. She's struggling to find anything that...
I see.
I wondered if you might know of a solution, or if you...
Perhaps. It is not a different material.
What do you mean?
Consider the lake we have made our home. Its blighted waters eat away far more quickly than fresh water or even brine, and yet we have made a home here from those very materials.
We have, but Bardolph must varnish every board twice over to keep it from rotting. And Obelus complains that without a constant supply of... I see.
Early Gregorian histories speak of a preparation known as moon dew. It is said to be able to resist it. Before the dragoons tamed the worms and wyverns of the realm, nobles would daub their castle walls with it.
So if we could recreate it...
It might be applied to some material or other in order to provide the protection Mid requires. As to how best to apply it and to what material, I shall speak to them and see if you would be so kind as to procure the necessary ingredients. I shall... The knowledge of the past may yet prove you...
Thank you, Hub. And since you're asking others to help you...
Mais Clive delivery. Esqueci o nome dessa ruiva aí.
So you need a help,
Ah,
do
yeah.
you?
We do. I'll be heading to market for the ingredients we need.
The other can assist me in researching how...
Can we count on your aid?
Always. Well, if Jill's...
Thank you.
I am sure either of these fine young minds would prove indispensable.
Mas aí é fácil, pô. Eu quero ir com a Jill.
So, Clive, who will accompany you?
Very well. So then...
I have taken the liberty of preparing...
White chocobo eggs. Are you sure this list is right? I would have thought the ingredients would be...
Though these items may seem mundane, they have potent effects that are so much so, in fact, that they were harvested almost to extinction. And now, of course, they can be obtained with ease. You should be able to find everything you need at the market.
Is that so?
I will.
You two enjoy...
You too, Talia.
E lá vamos para Rincão Setentrional.
Now, where's Jill?
Keep them pilchards nice and chilled. I won't have you spoiling it.
Where's Jill?
Those Pepio nuts?
How goes the hunt for ingredients?
I'm sure everything we need is somewhere amongst all these stores. Why don't we split up and see? We'll take a couple of ingredients each.
All right.
How about you look for the Pepio nut? I'll find the other things we need.
Up! You'll not find a bruised pippin in the bush. Fresh cuts! Come and get them before they're gone.
We haven't much, but you're free to look.
Alho.
Ah, yes.
Para
I trust it's all here.
também. Agora é uma Castanhas pepino.
What do you want?
Esse aqui que eu
If
quero.
that's what you want.
Quero poção.
Take it.
E 3
If
super
that's what you
poções.
want.
That's everything. Let's see how Jill's getting on.
All anyone ever wants anymore.
Did you find everything?
I did. Here.
Garlic and pepio nut. Now all that remains is for Harpocrates to somehow turn all this into... But before we head back...
Quero. É pra comer não, Torgo?
Thank you for asking me to help you today. It makes a nice change.
It does. It's good to get away from all the battle and bloodshed for once. Just being here reminds me of when we were children. Do you remember? Walking down Market Street in Rosalith, taking in the sights and smells.
How could I forget? What with Torgal's antics. Remember how his nose would prick up at the scent of sausages? He'd go racing away and we'd have to go running after him. We wouldn't catch you now, would we, boy?
Was there anything you wanted to buy for yourself while we're here?
There was, yes. Well, sort of. Molly in the kitchens told me about a place that sells particularly good pies. Thought you might like to share one.
I would.
And I saw some big white cobs like the baker back in... What do you think? I thought we might get some soup to dip it in. But then I tried a slice of the butcher's dry-cured ham and it... Sorry. It's just... you're right. I really do feel like a child again.
Oh, bonitinhos.
Is it wrong of me to enjoy this?
Gostar do quê? Desse momento? Não, né?
No, Jill.
Se for de violência, sim.
And it's how our lives will be when our work is finally done. When we can live on our own terms.
I hope so. Thank you, Clive.
Tá, vamos embora.
Well, I need to give these ingredients to Harpocrates. I'll see you at the hideaway.
Take care.
I will.
I wonder how Harpocrates is getting on with the moon dew. How's work on the shielding progressing up?
Well, very well indeed. And thanks in no small part to your kind assistance. I was just explaining to Tarja how we might best go about preparing them, and now that we have all the ingredients, we may begin.
You can count on me. I've mixed more than a...
What about the shielding?
Work is underway.
Apparently, it'll be ready soon.
Thank you.
Right then. Jill, would you join me in the infirmary? Manny?
Of course. Oh, and Clive, thank you.
A Tarja sumiu.
It was nice just being with you.
It appears our work here is almost at an end. A shame. I was enjoying playing the man of action for
esse
once.
daí foi
When both
boa,
the shielding
viu?
and the moon dew are ready,
Essa
It will
foi
merely be a
boa.
matter of applying the one to the other, followed by a rigorous process of testing and retesting, of course. Perhaps someone ought to warn young Mid of that.
Leave it to me. Thank you, Hippocrates. Well, I bet.
Tem coisa nova? Não.
I'll give Mid the good news then.
Vamos ver se tem itens pra eu fazer que eu não podia fazer antes e agora eu posso.
What do you need? I'm saying fortune, do you?
Cara, onde é que pega esse osso, pô? Esse osso de Servapão. 265. 265 é melhor, né? Do que a... Ah, não, mas eu preciso da espada de diamante primeiro. Nossa, vai aumentar muito o meu dano. Agora onde é que pego esse Serpaval? Vamos lá falar com a...
Anything else?
Com a Med. Depois a gente procura esse
I
Serpaval.
went up to give some greens to the chocolate.
Editors started reading books that don't have any pictures in.
Sorry to keep you waiting, Mid. But you'll be pleased to know that work on the shielding is underway.
You found something for it?
In a manner of speaking, Hippocrates knew of a substance that's highly resistant to heat. A coating that should provide the protection you need. He's supervising the construction and testing of the shielding as we speak.
Brilliant! I knew you wouldn't let me down.
Don't thank me. I'm just the errand boy.
Right then, better start working out how to bolt all these bits together. To the Black Hammer!
Vamos voltar de novo ao Blackthorn, pô.
You know, when I got into the smithing game, I thought I'd be making swords and shields, not thermal bleeding didgeridoo-dahs.
Displacement stacks.
Same difference. Whatever you call it, I ain't putting it together in here. It's cramped enough as it is. Let's take this outside. Mid, you get all the parts lined up on the deck. I'll take care of the rest.
On my way!
Oh, and bring me the biggest salmon you can find. This is gonna require some precision walloping.
Algum tempo depois...
It's finished! It's finally finished!
Thank fuck for that. I'll be feeling my hammer arm for weeks.
Thank you, Clive, Blackthorn, that's one down and just 3 more to go.
I'm sorry.
Oh, didn't I tell you? The Enterprise has 4 mithril engines and will be needing a displacement stack.
You don't mean...
Now they've got a finished one to work off. My gang in camp.
Good luck to them, Ice. Right, I'm off to get a sling for this elbow.
A gente não tem que pegar mais 3 vezes todos os materiais. Eu ia endoidar.
What's the matter?
Nothing. Just daydreaming. Thinking about the Enterprise sailing off over the horizon to shores unknown, searching for a land untouched by the Blight, just like me and my dad planned. So if the worst came to the worst and every scrap of soil in the Twins turned black, that's what she was meant to be. You see, one last chance just in case we needed it. But now she's so close to being finished, I've realized I don't want her to be that. I don't want her to be just a lifeboat for us to cling to if things get desperate. I want people to sail aboard her by choice. Not in a world where we're not just trying to survive, but where we can...
I'm working on that, and I'll do everything I can to get you what you want.
Don't you always? All right. As soon as the Enterprise is fit to sail, I'm putting her under your command. Sod our plans. I'm trusting in yours.
Are you sure about this?
Something tells me it's what me dad...
He'd be proud of you.
You,
I was. And you can come.
Right. There's just one thing I need to finish up first. Won't be a minute.
All right. I'll let Otto know you're coming.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Nick told me she was building a ship.
Really?
Ah, tem uma missãozinha com mais ali, hein? Vamos para lá.
Think Mid might need some help.
Well.
Owen.
Here, Sid. Reckon.
Let's hear it.
Well, it's about this lovely bit of kit, it is. Bunging a solution you want splitting, and it will separate. Problem is, it won't always get rid of all, which is why I've been looking for something to filter the.
I imagine
Why
Ty
not,
could
ne?
get some use out of this alembic too. Distilling
Proper.
So what exactly do you...
Nothing but bomb ash'll do. Gave me a sample she'd obtained from the university store. You pour the blackest blight water through it, and it comes. So, I did a bit of reading about where I might be able to get hold of some. And do you know what I found out? It's only the blimmin' bones of a bomb king. They'll even be...
I take it that's where...
I saw a billet on the hump. Would have gone myself, but, well, fighting dirty great balls of flame ain't exactly my...
All right.
Thank you, Coin.
Uma hunt nova pra gente fazer agora. Relatos da bomba. O que é essa bomba Rex? Couple, se quiser ter um anúncio que pode ser do seu interesse. Bomba Rex. Um rompe-maldição a caminho da perseguição imperial tomou o caminho errado e foi parar em uma floresta próxima, onde encontrou ruínas de uma aeronave dos decaídos. Dentro, uma fera que aparentava ser uma grande bola de fogo a perseguiu e a fez sair correndo gritando. A soldada posteriormente identificou a criatura em um almanaque dos ecos, mas insistiu que a bomba que ela viu tinha 10 vezes o tamanho da que estava retratada. Perseguição Imperial, Amoringa, Sunbreak. Pera aí, tem um negócio aqui também. É quest? Amoringa, Sunbreak.
Is that the thing Tomes helped with?
Well, don't just stand there, go. Finished, are you?
I heard what you told Nan about Kupka.
But Crystal too. Joking.
Nossa, tem isso tudo. Confidencial. Eu estava folheando os livros caixa no esconderijo a pedido de Otto e posso ter encontrado algo que talvez chame sua atenção. Talvez, ou seja, venha imediatamente.
Trouble with the ledgers.
Tá, um mau pressentimento. Tem algo de errado com o seu cão. Quando Vossa Senhoria puder, venha me visitar na tenda.
What could be wrong with Torgor?
Ossos do ofício. E um demaisinho, né? Sobre o Blackthorn. Obrigado por me ajudar a animar o Blackthorn naquele dia, mas acho que ele está daquele jeito de novo. A julgar pela cara dele ultimamente. Estou achando que talvez o problema não era só o couro. Será que tem outros demônios rodeando a cabeça dele? Sei que você é um homem ocupado, mas da próxima vez que estiver livre, talvez possa ir perguntar ao velho qual é o problema.
Hopefully it's nothing.
Tá, nesse finalzinho a gente pode focar nessas sidequests que tem um mais, né? Geralmente tem algo de valioso. E deixamos as outras pro começo da próxima jogatina.
Blackthorn.
Not really, no.
This weren't it. I just wanted to ask how you're getting
Pra
on.
aquecer, né?
And you might still be doubting your craft. Perhaps sharing a thought?
That bastard's like still. You got a keen eye, I'll give him that. He's just, well...
And that was?
A sword. An odd-looking thing with the metal itself wasn't anything to write home about, but you could slice a man clean in two with a weapon like that, and he'd be halfway home before he even...
So that's what's troubling you?
Nah, no. Not troubling me exactly. More distracting.
And if you knew how to do it, we could arm the curse breakers with
That's about it.
I'll see what I can find out. Sharper swords are always welcome. We can't have our master blacksmith be...
You're a soft touch, you know that.
Thank you. Let's see what Karen knows.
A gente vai ter que procurar mais uma pessoa.
I got your note. You think something's wrong?
So you can read. I didn't say I were wrong with him. I said something weren't right. He used to love cracking the bones from Molly. Didn't like him. Which is why I'm of him. You've not been working him too hard, have you?
No harder than you? Is that it, boy?
What was it you said he was?
That's what the laws meant.
Then maybe this all has something to do with whatever...
I suppose things happen, differences. Perhaps Hippocrates knows something.
Instead of everything.
Vamos falar sobre a do
You're
Blackthorn.
looking well, Karen.
What do you want?
I want to know about the sword you showed Blackthorn. Single edge.
Running around after it?
I suppose I am, yes. But I need to help him find out how to work.
Little wondrous. There's not many like that make it as far as the twins, and those that... which made it nice and easy.
Can you tell me who bought it?
You think I tell people who my clients are? Suppose you're not likely to go, Nick. Fine. If you stop mooning at me like that. Lord Ignac's the man you want. Dalmecian bloke. And he's got more money than sense, which is why he's one of my... Reckon he'll still be at the inn in Dalamil, where I left him.
Thank you, Karen.
Oh. And he's...
I appreciate it.
Tá. Um é em Sunbreak, já esqueci a Moringa, alguma coisa assim, né? A Moringa tem aqui. Não. Ué. Ela fala, né? A Moringa, Sunbreak. Aí você tá me trollando, pô.
People take notice of wealthy men. Shouldn't be too to track down Karen's collector.
The St. Drake's fang is
Ele é
gone.
excêntrico.
The whole mother crystal gone.
My reputation will be ruined. Ruined!
Calm yourself, Lord Ignac, I beg of you, before you do yourself a mischief.
Pardon the intrusion, but
Out! Get out! I paid for these rooms so I wouldn't be disturbed. Leave me be!
Please, allow me to apologize. His lordship is going through a difficult time, and he's never been fond of guests arriving unannounced.
Radim! Get rid of the filthy oaf this instant!
Very good, Lord Ignac.
I'm sorry if I've caused you any trouble.
That? Oh, no. That's just how his lordship is. He has been dispossessed of his luggage, you see. The thieves also make...
I don't suppose a certain blade, a single-edged sword.
Ah, you...
Then I'll retrieve Lord Ignac's luggage.
You have but to state it. You are welcome to...
I want an audience with Lord Ignac.
A condition I would be a fool to refuse.
I don't suppose you saw where the thieves went.
I did not, no. Though some discreet and every ill-gotten coin in Dalamal is...
And that's where I'm headed.
I shall speak to Lord Ignac in your absence.
That will be very...
Farewell.
Tá. Tem ali a marcação no mapa, então tranquilo.
Let's go.
Faster!
All right.
Caramba, é grande, viu? O mapa. Não tinha me dado conta. Eu queria saber fazer o drift que o pessoal faz. Pra pegar impulso. Canalhas aí.
You've got company! Come on, lads, let's tear the bastard's head off!
Opa. Ai, como assim eu não desviei?
There's a good boy. Nice try.
Ai, tentei dar o parry. Ai, daí cooldown. Inimigo derrotado.
This must be Ignac's luck. Nothing seems to be done. All right. Let's get it back to Delamel.
I hear I have you to thank for the return. What should I call you?
Wyvern.
A formidable name. Well, Wyvern, Radim here tells me you wished for an audio.
A few moments of your time should suffice.
You're a peculiar fellow.
Master Wyvern was wondering if you could tell him about a certain single...
Oh, true. Karen drove me hard on the price, but I would have sold her Radim here to get my hands on that sword. It was made in the Outer Isles and is used exclusively by the practitioners of a unique, they believe. No combat should ever exceed a single strike. And each sword is made for that one perfect stroke, and for that stroke only. There's a brutal...
But how do they hone such an edge?
Why, they use a whetstone, of course. Whetstones, rather. A whole array of them, ranging from the coarse to the fine. 10,000 licks with the sharpening stone. But it is the final stone which lends the blade a mineral quite foreign. And that... Wyvern, it occurs to me that my little lecture is hardly equal to services. Take this. The very stone of which I spoke. Far rarer and a far more.
Thank you.
Pardon the intrusion, my lordship.
I am locked in bitter competition. I am one step ahead of the unscrupulous.
Are there many other collectors out?
Too many to count. But only one do I consider my nemesis. Lord Byron is a perennial... Farewell, Wyvern, may our Radim! We...
I think his lordship is rather taken with you.
Tá, agora a gente vai atrás do Bomba Rex.
Trust Uncle Byron to fight now. Let's see.
Vamos lá, é em Sunbreak. Mas que parte de Sunbreak é essa, velho? Que eu não tô achando aqui. Temos 5 TPs. Aqui é Dalméquia. Aqui é Rosária. Essa Sunbreak aqui que o cara tá mostrando, eu ainda não vi, não. Será que é um caminho secreto? Ah, pô. It's a secret way. A gente vem aqui. É aqui? É aqui. Mas aí é foda a pessoa... A pessoa achar, mas... Essa entradinha... Não é foda não, a pessoa... Tiver tempo pra explorar o jogo, acaba achando. A caçada imperial. Ah, uma casa. É aqui?
I can walk from here.
Ah, não é aqui não. Ih, foi de base já? Ah, tá. Bomba Rex. Ah, ele não tem... Ai. Ele não tem stagger. Vou falar quase 10 segundos. Ai, meu Deus. Ai, corre, corre, corre. Meu Deus. Corre, corre, corre. Ai, ele me lançou 3. 4. De base. Ai. Agora foi de base. Ameaça notória. A brasa de bomba.
Your reign is over. Now to collect the ash. I should probably... This looks like the stuff. Let's see if there's any more. That should do it. If a wine needs more than this, he can fetch it himself.
Vamos lá fazer nossas entregas. Tem um aqui no Blackthorn, né? Da pedra de amolar.
Sorry for the wait, but hopefully you'll agree it was worth it.
You learned something about that sword then?
I did better than that.
A whetstone?
Yes. But not one you'll find anywhere in Valisthea.
No wonder I couldn't get the same finish on the grinding wheel. One hit and all done, eh? Might not be so bad if all you ever fought were duels. Good luck on the battlefield. Your second opponent would be your last, no matter how good you were.
Even so, is there some way it could be used to give the curse breakers an edge?
I think so, yeah. With this whetstone and the right kind of steel, I could probably even make a twin of the blade that rattled me. But there'd be no replacing this little rock once I worn it down to a sliver. I reckon we get a dozen swords from it, if that. Swords that the curse breakers wouldn't know how to wield properly, and that would see them through a single fire piece. Nah, no point trying to copy that thing. Be about as much use as a wax anvil. But finishing our blades with a whetstone this fine, Now that's something to consider. And what's finer than fallen masonry, eh? Or more hard-wearing, for that matter. Just imagine it. Good Valisthian steel with an edge as sharp as any found in the Outer Isles. I won't make a copy now. I'll make something much better.
I'm sure the curse breakers will be delighted.
Isso aí. Faça algo
Don't push
melhor.
yourself too hard.
Don't you worry about me, sunshine. I've been working day and night since I was half your age, and I'll still be here when you're long gone. Hey, thanks, Clive. I mean it. I owe you one, August too. It's good to know someone's looking out for me.
You'll be happy to hear you said that.
And I'll see that my debt to you's paid. First new blade I make's got your name on it. You come and find me when you've got the materials.
All right?
E já não tem não. Esquema da Excalibur. Projeto da Excalibur. Vamos ver se a gente consegue fazer. A gente já consegue fazer, ó.
Not bad, if I do say so myself.
Eu já nem precisa mais se preocupar com a quantidade de diamante. Ó. Bonito, né? É, agora a gente fala com o pessoal ali, o Owen. Lá no depósito.
All right there, Sid. How's that hunt for the bomber?
I have it here.
That's the stuff. And plenty of it, too. Enough to keep the Olympic bubbling away for a good old... You're a gent, Sid. Let nothing say otherwise. Right then. Let's get this contraption up. There we have it. The Telemon Malembic. And it works just like the chief said it would.
Very impressive.
Says the man who cut down a burning boulder.
There's no need.
Don't be... Why don't you let me take a look at that bag of yours? The one you keep your potions in.
What?
E vai aumentar o número de
We happen to have
spots.
isolated a substance in our test run of the Alembic that thought we might use it to breathe new life into old boots and the like. Save the hideaway. Ah, I reckon if we slap a bit on your bag, it'll loosen up.
Well,
That's the spirit.
Se bem que não é muito necessário não, né? Eu acho que a única vez que a gente precisou de mais pods foi contra a hunt de custo S, né?
What do you reckon?
it certainly feels...
Right?
Thank you.
No. For supporting Mid and the rest of us in our endeavors. Without you, and I'm telling you.
Missão concluída. Ciência bizarra. Bolsa de poções tratada. Inventário aumentado. Tá, seis poções, mais uma super poção e mais um tônico. Só pra eu ver aqui quanto é que custa a habilidade do Odin. Se a gente já pode upar ela. 2.300, falta 200 ainda. Beleza. Tem algo que eu aprimorei aqui sem perceber? Não. Não, tá tudo certo. Tem mais uma recompensa pra nós, uma doação.
I wasn't expecting you back so soon.
O medalhão do Alto Clérigo.
Here you are.
O
Come
que
again.
esse
I may
medalhão
have-
faz? Equipamento. Para raio, medalhão. Aumenta o poder de cura das poções, né?
Oh, yeah.
Não é muito necessário, não. É isso, pessoal. Parte 12 fica por aqui. Espero que vocês tenham gostado. Fiquem ligados que a parte 13 sai já já. Valeu!